The system isn't broken. It was designed for you to lose. Ever feel like you're running on a treadmill? You're putting in the work, you're sweating, you're following all the rules they taught you, but the scenery never changes. You get the degree, you land the job, you work hard, but that sense of security, of true financial freedom, always seems to be just one step ahead, like a mirage in the desert. You look around and see everyone else posting their wins, their vacations, their successes. And then comes that quiet, heavy question in the middle of the night. What am I doing wrong? What if I told you that you're not doing anything wrong? What if your frustration isn't a sign of your failure, but a sign that you're finally waking up? And what if the system we're in isn't broken, but was engineered to work exactly this way, to make you feel this way, to make you lose? In this video, we're not just going to point fingers. We're going to break down the rule book of this game we never asked to play, and more importantly, we're going to start writing our own. The promise we were sold. Let's be honest for a second. Most of us grew up hearing a version of the American dream that sounded like a simple formula. Go to college, get a good job, be loyal to the company, buy a house with a white picket fence, and after 40 years, you retire with a pension and a gold watch. Your parents or grandparents might have lived a version of this. It was the deal, your loyalty and hard work in exchange for stability and a predictable life. There's nothing wrong with that promise. The problem is, we're trying to cash in a coupon that's long expired. The game has changed, but they forgot to give us the new rulebook. And this disconnect between the promise we were sold and the reality we live is the source of so much of our anxiety and frustration. The debt trap as a tool. Think about it. What's the first major step our society pushes you to take as a young adult? For most, it's college, and with it, student debt. They sell it to you as an investment in yourself, which is partially true, but it's also your entry contract into the system. You start the game of adult life not at zero, but deep in the red. This initial debt anchors you down. It forces you to take the first good enough job that comes along instead of the one you actually dream of. It teaches you to make decisions based on the fear of scarcity, not the pursuit of abundance. And once you're in that cycle, the system offers you more solutions that are really just more ropes, high-interest car loans, the constant lure of credit cards to maintain a lifestyle you deserve. Before you know it, you're not working to build your future anymore. You're working just to pay off your past. This isn't your fault. It's the system's design, a system that profits from your debt. The illusion of the corporate ladder. And what about the job itself? The idea of climbing the corporate ladder, rung by rung, is an image that no longer fits reality. Today, loyalty is often a one-way street. Companies prioritize quarterly profits over people. Wages barely keep up with real inflation, which means even if your salary goes up, your purchasing power might actually be going down. The system wants you tired. It wants you exhausted. Because an exhausted person doesn't have the energy to question things, to learn a new skill, to start that side hustle. Burnout isn't a bug in the system, it's a feature. It keeps you docile, grateful, just to have a job that pays the bills for the debt they encouraged you to take on. If any of what I've said so far is hitting home, you've probably already felt in your gut that something is fundamentally wrong. If you've ever felt that way, know you're not alone. The attention economy. And when you finally get home, drained from work, what happens? You pick up your phone, and that's where the third layer of the system kicks in. The war for your attention. Your attention is one of the most valuable assets of the 21st century, and every app, every notification, every endless scroll is engineered by psychology experts to capture and hold it. They show you picture-perfect edited lives, creating a culture of constant comparison that robs you of your joy. They feed you outrage and fear to keep you engaged. They distract you from the silence. Because in the silence, you might start asking dangerous questions. Questions like, am I truly happy? Or, is this what I want for my life? A distracted population is a controllable one. So you see the cycle. Debt forces you into a job that drains you. Exhaustion leads you to distraction. And distraction keeps you from finding a way out. It's a nearly perfect loop designed to keep you running on that treadmill. But the first step to winning a rigged game is understanding you're in one, and now you do. The start of your silent revolution. Okay, so we've dissected the system. We've seen the debt traps, the career illusions, and the war for your mind. It's easy to get angry or feel powerless right now. And it's okay to feel that. Let that feeling in. But we're not going to stay there. Anger without direction is just noise. Anger with focus, that's fuel. This is the part no one can do for you. This is the part that demands brutal honesty with yourself. I'm going to ask you a few questions. And I ask that you don't just hear them. I want you to feel them. Let them echo in the space between the man you are today and the man you know you could be. The answers won't come in an instant. They are your life's work, and that work starts now. What is success to you, for real? Let's start with the target. The system gave you a target to aim for since you were a kid. It's an image of success, isn't it? It probably involves a certain kind of car, a big house, an impressive job title. Now, the first question. Is that picture truly yours? Or is it a collage of movie clips, Instagram posts, and your parents' expectations that you've pieced together and called your own dream? Be honest. When you close your eyes and picture yourself truly happy, truly at peace, are you in a boardroom closing a huge deal, or are you in a cabin in the mountains with complete control over your day? There's no wrong answer, but there is an answer that's a lie, and you know which one it is. Another question. We were taught to measure success in dollars. What if we change the unit of measurement? What if the true measure of wealth isn't money, but sovereign time? Hours of your day that are 100% yours, where you don't have to answer to a boss or a client. If you optimized your life for more sovereign time instead of more dollars, what decisions would you make differently tomorrow morning? Maybe you'd turn down that promotion that comes with an extra 15 hours of work a week. Maybe your dream car becomes a reliable, paid-off car that doesn't require you to work an extra month a year just for its upkeep. Who are you trying to impress? Think about the last big purchase you made. That watch, that new gadget, those designer clothes. I want you to relive the moment just before you bought it. What was the feeling you were trying to buy? Was it the joy of ownership? Or was it the anticipation of how other people would see you with it? The system thrives on your insecurity. It creates a void and then sells you the product that's supposed to fill it. It's a vicious cycle. The question that breaks this cycle is, who are you living your life for? For the admiration of strangers on the internet? For the silent approval of your father? For the envy of your old high school classmate? Imagine you've achieved everything you set out to do. You have the car, the house, the title. You're at a party, and everyone is congratulating you. Now, imagine you go home, the door closes, and you're alone in the silence. Are you at peace? Or is the need for validation already poking at you, looking for the next target to impress? Building a life to impress others is like building a sandcastle. It looks great, but the tide of others' opinions always comes in and washes it away. The only solid foundation is self-respect. Do you respect yourself for the things you do when no one is watching? Is your mind your ally or your enemy? Do we ever stop to think about what's going on inside our own heads? We worry about the food we eat, the air we breathe, but what about the mental diet we consume every single day? Here's a scary question. If your thoughts from the last 24 hours were broadcast on a billboard for the world to see, would you feel proud or ashamed? Are your thoughts dominated by anxiety about the future? By anger over things you can't control? By comparison to others? The system knows that a divided, anxious mind can't plan, can't create, can't rebel. It can only react. So it bombards you with alarming news, with debates that infuriate you, with images that make you feel inadequate, and you consume all of it. So, how do you start to fight back? Ask yourself, What am I feeding my mind? Is that time you spend scrolling through your feed making you a better, smarter, calmer person? Or is it just leaving you more agitated? What if, for just 1 week, you swapped 30 minutes of social media for 30 minutes of reading a book that challenges you? Or 30 minutes of walking in silence with no headphones? This isn't a battle you win all at once. It's a daily practice. It's consciously choosing to be the curator of your own mental museum instead of letting the algorithm be your tour guide. These questions aren't meant to give you easy answers. They're meant to give you a new starting point. They are a compass to help you navigate off the map they drew for you. Because freedom doesn't start when you escape the system. It starts the moment you realize the cage is in your own mind. Building your own rulebook. The questions we've explored aren't intended to leave you in a state of permanent doubt. They are the tools to shatter the old foundation. Now, let's talk about building the new one. You're not the first person to walk this path. There are maps and guides left by others who saw the same flaws in the system. If you want to go deeper into reprogramming your financial mindset, there's a reason Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki has become a cornerstone for millions. It's not just about money. It's about shifting your perspective from being an employee who works for money to becoming an owner and investor whose money works for you. It's the fundamental lesson the system doesn't want you to learn. If the idea of escaping the 9-to-5 grind and designing a lifestyle around freedom appeals to you, then The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss isn't just a book, it's an operating manual. It challenges the idea that work has to fill 8 hours a day and that retirement is something to wait for at 65. It shows you how to use technology and efficiency to buy back your most precious asset, your time. And when it comes to reclaiming your mind from the attention economy, the evidence is overwhelming. Research from universities like Stanford and NYU has repeatedly shown how social media platforms are designed for addiction, exploiting the same neural pathways as gambling. The work of authors like Cal Newport in his book Digital Minimalism offers a practical path to using technology on your own terms instead of being used by it. So, where does that leave us? We started by acknowledging that nagging feeling that you're in a rigged game. We saw that this feeling isn't paranoia, it's perception. The system was, in fact, designed to keep you in a cycle of debt, work, and distraction. Then, we saw that the first act of rebellion isn't external, but deeply internal. It happens when you have the courage to question the definition of success that was forced on you and start building your own based on your values, not the values of a consumer society. And now, you see that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Others have already mapped out the escape routes. The knowledge is out there. Which brings us to the most crucial point. The system is powerful, but it has one fundamental weakness. It needs your consent. It needs your voluntary buy-in. It needs you to believe that this is the only game in town. The moment you stop giving that consent, the moment every dollar you spend, every hour you invest, every minute of your attention becomes a conscious choice aligned with your definition of winning the system, loses its power over you. Their game is rigged, so stop playing their game, start building yours. If this conversation resonated with you, if you're ready to stop playing by their rules and start building your own, then do 2 simple things. First, hit the subscribe button and join a community of people who are on this same journey. You're not in this alone. Second, leave a comment below with the first rule of your new game. It could be, my time is more valuable than my money, or I don't buy things to impress people I don't even like. I read every single one. Share this video with a friend who you know needs to hear this message. Sometimes, one conversation is the spark that changes everything. Thank you for your time. Now go and reclaim what's yours.